place one hand on our belly and one hand on our heart. Starting to connect with the 3-part yoga breath, or the Durga Pranayama. So this is the one where we start off by inhaling into our belly. So just take a few breaths to notice the belly rising and the belly falling. Really establish this as the first part of our breath at each and every time. Starting to add in the second part, after the belly rises, we continue to breathe into the rib cage and it expands out to each side. So belly up, and then feel the side ribs start to open to the sides as well. Exhale, side ribs come back in, and then belly falls. Taking a few breaths with both of those. Inhale, belly, side ribs. Exhale, side ribs back, belly back. Another cycle there. And then the third part we're adding in is breathing into the chest so much that this left hand on the chest has to rise a little bit. So belly, side ribs, and then the left hand rising. Exhale, left hand down, ribs in, belly down. Notice it filling you from the toes to the head, and then receding from the head to the toes, just like the wave of an ocean. Feel that breath deep and slow and full. Another 3 rounds of breath just to concentrate on those 3 parts. And then with that, it's kind of established this pattern of that 3-part breath in our body. So see if you can continue that pattern without the mental effort as we take a moment to connect with our intention. The intention today is focusing on the breath all through class. We'll engage in different yogic breathing techniques as we head into our class. And the purpose is because I've seen a lot of people as we're going through the struggles on earth right now. I see a lot of people with such shallow breaths and losing connection with their breath. And a lot of it's out of fear. A lot of people right now are afraid of you breathing onto them, and putting masks on makes it so that our breath, we're not getting the same proportion of carbon dioxide to oxygen. And so our breath tends to just naturally be shallow in that environment. And then with that fear on top of it of people breathing on you and you breathing on people, it makes it so as a society right now, we're not breathing very much. And so our intention, our goal today, since we're here online connected, is to simply let ourselves allow the lungs to really pump, to get this oxygen flowing all over our body so that our body finally has this chance to become even more full of this primordial life force, flowing the prana all through our body during our class. So with this intention of breath to lead us forward, let's continue this 3-part yoga breath while we're here on our back, taking a few nice stretches for our body. So start off, the knees come into the chest. And as we're doing little circles, pay attention to the breath. Can you still breathe into belly, side ribs, chest? Exhale, chest, side ribs, and belly comes down very last. Take a few breaths while we're doing these nice little circles with the hips, just to try to find that breath even in the motion. Let's allow this left leg to relax long into the ground. Hands clasp around the right knee. As we pull the right knee in closer to the shoulder, continue that 3-part breath. Belly, side ribs, chest. Chest down, side ribs in, belly returns. Another cycle like that. One full slow breath cycle like that with the knee opening wide to the right. And then start to twist the knee over to the left. Try to stay connected with those 3 parts, even though we're twisting. Hips start to return to the ground. The leg stretches up to the sky. We begin to stretch it out, so pull it in as deep as it's willing to go. And from here, continue pumping the lungs. As much oxygen as we can get in and out. They say that we only really breathe to about 30% of our lung capacity most of the time. And that's because in our modern environment, we don't have to exercise constantly in every little thing that we do. We can just sit for 6 hours on end, not even thinking about it. So today we're pumping, maybe not getting 100% of our lung capacity flowing, but maybe we're moving up closer to 60, 70, 80 or more. Another good breath all the way in, 3 parts. And all the way out. The leg starts to go wide out to the right side. Take 2 good breaths to that direction. And then take the straight leg across, either halfway down to get into the IT band or all the way down into the twist. Your preference, whatever feels best. And continue that 3-part breath. Belly, side ribs, chest. Chest, side ribs, belly. Good. The right hip returns to the ground. Walk the hands up the legs. Maybe the head can come in closer to the knee for a moment, working on the flexibility. And then as the head relaxes back down to the ground, we're going to go for 10 leg switches. So one leg comes up and then the other. As we're doing these leg switches, we don't have quite enough time to think of that 3-part yoga breath. So instead we're going to do a bellows breath. Just a nice huge inhale and huge exhale, like we're in bellows right in front of the fire, trying to pump a bunch of oxygen directly into the flames. And so when you're ready, with each exhale, we'll do a leg switch and pause long enough at the top to do that bellow inhale. So start with the inhale here, as deep as you can breathe. Exhale, switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do one more switch to get the left leg up to the sky. So pausing here, we're giving this leg as much of a chance as the first side to get that flexibility working. Continue to straighten the leg upward. Think of the heel trying to reach up to touch the clouds. And return back to that 3-part yogic breath. Notice how calming this yogic breath is. Going so slow, so relaxed and deep. Allow this left leg to start to open up to the left side, taking a couple of breaths with that stretch for the inner thigh. And then as the leg rises back up, it starts to take either the half twist or the full twist, whatever feels better in the leg. Another huge inhale. And exhale. Leg goes back up to the sky. Try to walk the hands up the leg, pulling the head in toward the knee. And then head relaxes back down. Let's do another 10 cycles, including the bellow breath. As much air as our lungs can be pumping. It's like we're less of a flesh bag and we're more of an air bag here. So when you're ready, take your prep with the inhale. Exhale, switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take both knees into the chest. Take a few cycles to return back to the normal cycle of breath, the 3 parts. It's almost like the same bellow, just a bit slower so we can feel all 3 parts going. Now at this speed of breath, curl your forehead in toward the knees. With our inhale, 3-part yoga breath if possible. Try to stretch the legs toward the base of the mat, the arms up overhead, and 3-part yoga breath exhale to return, curling back into this shape. We'll try to take 6 more of those. See if you really can build up all 3 parts of the breath. We're going so slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And from here, legs go straight up to the sky. Hands go onto the floor. Take a huge bellow inhale. And exhale, slowly lower the legs all the way to the ground. When they're rested on the earth, arms stretch up overhead. Huge inhale. That long exhale to return back up and stretch over both legs. So the breath's still pumping for us, even though we're curling over our belly area. Start to let the spine rise upright to sit. Our left foot slides into plant. And we take a nice twist, hooking the right arm around the knee. The left hand comes behind. Straighten the spine up. Notice how that creates more space for the lungs. And then start to twist over the shoulder. And then tune back into this belly breath, all three parts. See if you can breathe into all three parts. Feeling the breath continuing to pump for us. One more inhale. Exhale, return back forward. Now it's the right hand that's planting on the ground behind us. Left hand is reaching forward. With our huge inhales, we're going to lift the left arm up to the sky and lift the hips up, essentially coming into wild thing pose. So when you're ready, huge inhale, sweep that arm up like an arc. And then exhale, lower back down. Can your next breath be deeper than the first? Lifting up and down. 3 more cycles, letting the breath continue at that deep pace. One more, even fuller. Good. Now let this left knee fall all the way down to the side. Inhale, circle arms up to the sky. Exhale, fall over, stretching toward the right leg. Starting to rise upright, you need to switch out the legs. The right foot's planted, left leg is long. We head to the twist, so left arm hooks around that right knee. Right hand is behind. Take this moment to straighten the spine upright. And then from that long spine, start to open into the twist. The breath is still pumping for us. Don't let it go back to its shallow, at least for this time that we have together. We're trying to keep our lungs going. Returning forward, the left hand plants behind. The right hand is in front of us, ready to rise up into wild thing. Take a huge inhale. Lift. Exhale. Lower. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Two. 1. Good. Right knee falls down to the ground. Reach the arms up to the sky with a great inhale. Exhale, release up and over. And as we're rising back up, come into a simple cross-leg shape. With our inhale, we float the arms up to the sky. They're feather light when they're floating up. It's like a helium balloon released that just wants to float all the way up. With the exhale, it's resistance. We're grabbing something, we're pulling it all the way in until the elbows come into the side ribs. So this is going to be that bellows breath, pumping the lungs. Inhale, float. Exhale, pull. In and out of the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, we take a boat pose shape. From boat pose, we're going to explore our breath of fire. We'll do about 50 rounds at my pace. You may or may not hit 50. Just go until I do the countdown from 10. As we're doing this, we simply pulse out the exhale, contract, pulsing into the belly. The inhale is the relaxation of the diaphragm, allowing air to simply seep back into the nose with no effort. So it sounds like that's simply what we're doing, just pulsing that diaphragm. While we're there, we're holding in boat pose. The easiest version, keep the feet on the ground, just grab onto the thighs. That's perfectly fine. If you'd like to go slightly harder, you'll be balancing on your hips, maybe taking shins parallel to the floor. Even harder would be starting to straighten out the legs. So you choose your preference because we're going to be holding here for a little while. So when you're ready, take your inhale, exhale completely, begin to pulse. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale completely, hold without air. Inhale completely, hold with air. Hold it a little bit longer. And come into cobbler's pose. Letting the whole spine, all of those core muscles simply release up and over. Notice the slowing of the breath right now, but still keep it pumping for us. The belly is still expanding to whatever capacity we can while rounding over. And still getting all the way up into the tippy tops of the lungs. Now, as we're taking this break for a moment, note that if you ever start to feel lightheaded, if you're getting some tingles in the fingers or in the mouth, those would be signs to simply pause the breath and return back to your normal breath. Even take a break from the pose until you feel like your body's regulated again. Sometimes as our lungs are building in their capacity, our blood pressure and our circulation is not quite used to so much vitality within the veins. And so sometimes it takes a little while to get used to some of these breathwork techniques. Let's just enjoy 3 more breaths being right here. And then as we start to rise, we're going to take half boat. So it's just a step up from where we were before. So if your feet were on the ground before, maybe your toes hover a little bit above the ground. Maybe if you were right here in this normal boat, maybe you sink your legs a little bit further to the ground and your spine a little bit closer to the ground, with or without hands. So just choose one step harder than we were a moment ago, and we're going to do just 50 more rounds of that breath of fire before we take another break at cobbler's pose. So choose whatever your boat pose is. You're welcome to just keep on holding on to the thighs. Just make it slightly harder by reaching out. And so from here, take a normal inhale. Exhale. Begin to pulse. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go to cobbler. Exhale completely, hold without air. Inhale completely, hold with air. Hold it a little bit longer. And go back to your natural breath. So there's a couple of points to doing that pause with the exhale and then the pause after the inhale. Part of it is just to simply help our body come back into a normal proportion of carbon dioxide to oxygen. But also I love doing that because if you exhale and then hold without air, your body starts to get into this kind of panic state. It's like, oh no, I need to have air. I need to accept something outside of me in. I need to accept help. I need to accept security. I need to accept this aid from outside of me to inside. So it's a beautiful symbolism. And same when you take your inhale, if you simply hold it and then you finally exhale, it's like there's that huge sense of relief because we let go of something that we were holding on to. So let's even practice that for a round. Sit up tall, hold onto your ankles, take a huge inhale and just hold. Feel what your body feels like. And when it reaches that point where you know you have to exhale, let it go. Feel that sense of relief. And then the opposite, take an inhale, exhale completely, and pause without air at the bottom. And feel the relief as you allow air, accepting it into the lungs. It's the give and take of life. It's that flow. I need to give, I need to take. I need to give, I need to take. It's not healthy to hold on to that. So now as we rise up, let's swing our legs underneath us. Coming into a nice, comfortable kneeling position for cat-cow. So the exhale, round the vertebrae up. Don't feel like you're in any rush. Inhale, belly gets to go down to arch. Continue to feel that flow. Going nice and slow, but deep into all those three parts we've been practicing. Three more rounds, just like this. One more. Beautiful. Let's start to explore our downward facing dog. If you'd like to take some pedaling motions at the beginning, that's okay. Whatever helps the flexibility of the legs continue to increase in our body. Even while we're upside down with our head, can your 3-part yogic breath still happen? Starting to work into an exercise from here, float the right leg up to the sky. Take a huge inhale. This one's closer to the bellows breath. Exhale, bring that right knee into the nose. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, knee to nose. We're going to repeat 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This last one, step it forward and through, in between the hands. Walk the hands up to the thigh. The front knee is still bent. We're trying to balance on the back toes. And sink the hips a little bit lower. You start to feel the stretch in the psoas muscle, front of the left hip. Good. So from here, open the arms out to left and right. We're going to do little arm circles as we drop the back knee up and down. That'll be 10 good breaths, nice and slow. So when you're ready, reach the arms out. Here we're going for 10, 9, 8, bellow breath, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Float the arms up to the sky. Lean slightly forward. Our front leg prepares to take our weight. With a huge exhale, we grab the hands, pulling them into the sides as the left knee rises up. We're standing in a balance. So repeating that, reach back to the balance on the toes. Inhale. Bellow, exhale, up to the balance. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in the balance. Take a twist, right hand to the knee. Left hand trying to open up behind. We're turning the chest forward. See if you can rotate that left knee open directly into tree pose. Feel the breath continuing to flow, even in the stillness. And set this left foot down. The big toes are touching, the heels are slightly separated. As we sit back like we're going into a chair, the arms will swing up by our ears. That's the exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs back up. Exhale, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Straighten the legs, circle the arms up to the sky, and take a nice forward fold. Keep the breath pumping into the belly. The next inhale allows us to take a half lift. Exhale, forward fold, slide the hands down, step back. We're in a nice plank position. Rock forward to lower down. Back bend. And feel free to head into a child's pose for a moment before we head into the second side. When you're ready for down dog, come up, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Maybe pedal the legs out for a moment, enjoying that stretch even down into the calf and the Achilles tendon. As we come in towards stillness, the hips lift high, and then left leg starts to float up to the sky. Inhale, like a bellow. Exhale, left knee to nose. Repeating 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and step that foot forward. As we find our balance with the back heel lifted, if at all possible, try to walk your hands up to the thigh and then sink the hips back lower. Front knees nice and bent. Good. Arms start to open out to left and right. Arm circles as the back knee drops low and lifts up. Going for 10, fellow breath. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms up by the ears, lean forward. Inhale. Exhale, arms to the chest, right knee floats. And return. Inhale. Exhale like a bellow. Inhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to balance here just a moment. See if you can rotate back open into tree pose with that foot. And feel the breath slow but full into all 3 parts. One more inhale. Exhale, step the foot down. And we're going to open our legs this time up into our nice goddess pose. With goddess pose, we're going to do arm circles. As we're in the squat with the legs will also do little pulses up and down, up and down. Okay, so prepare the arms up, floating out to each side. Start with the squat. Try to get to a good, comfortable level, but one that you can still lower even a little bit more. Going nice and slow. Let's go for 10 arm circles to one direction and then 10 to the other, so 20 total here. When you're ready, going 10, 9, 8, keep the breath going, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs, bring the hands to the hips, a power pose. Just a moment before we reverse. Huge breath in. Exhale, squat back down, arms open. Find the arm direction that you were doing before, and then we reverse it now. Going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Turn the toes forward. Let the hands clasp behind our back. And as we start to bow forward, pull the arms into a really good shoulder stretch from behind. The breath is still slow, but deep. We start to drop our hands down to the ground in front of us. Keep the elbows bent if possible to invite the spine to continue to magnetically draw the crown of the head toward the earth. Now straightening the left arm, and it's planted in front of the face. Float the right arm up to the sky and then plant the hand directly on the sacrum so the sacrum stays level, but continue to pull that right shoulder open, letting the rib cage itself rotate. Good, right hand down, left hand floats up, hand rests on the sacrum, and the left shoulder pulls back. Hands down, both hands around the right ankle. Keep the sacrum level as you pull in toward the right leg. And over toward the left leg. Hands drop down, heel toe the feet into the malasana shape. Sit the hips back. Clasp the hands together, releasing the pointer fingers. Just 3 times we're going to use the huge bellows breath to help us stand up and squat back down into this point. So try to point your hands forward and rise all the way up. Huge inhale. Exhale, try to lower. 2 more. 1 more. Stay in the squat. Drop your elbows to the insides of the knees. Hands in prayer position, spine lifting tall. Keep the breath flowing into the belly. Hands drop on the floor. Maybe we try for just a moment with crow pose, seeing if the toes can lift at all. And then as we're ready to drop the toes back down, walk your hands up toward the top of your mat and just simply step back, downward facing dog shape. Huge lift of the hips up to the sky. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you join me for a little flow, shifting forward with your plank, slowly lowering. Inhale for a back bend. Exhale back up to that down dog. right leg floats up, pointing all the way up to the sky. And then send the side of the right knee under and through, taking a beautiful pigeon pose. As you drop downward toward the elbows, see how relaxed and slow you can get your breath to be. In calming positions like this, the breath is, the cardio is not working quite so hard. So we can begin to slow the pace down itself. So keep it going slow and full, rhythmically bellowing. Start to plant the hands onto the ground. Lift the hips up, but let this right foot come straight out in front of you for half splits. Dropping the hands down. We lean down, giving a beautiful stretch to that hamstring. If you'd like to walk the toes forward a little bit closer toward full splits, this is a great opportunity to let it stretch. Keep the breath going, that flow of inhale and exhale. Sends the signal to the body that we're okay to simply stretch, relax, and be. Good. Eventually take this leg all the way back and lift up to down dog one more time. Hips reaching high up to the sky. Left leg floats. And we send it under and through for pigeon. Scooting the back knee back, double checking that our sacrum's level. We drop down to elbows. Plant the hands, lift the hips up a little bit. And as soon as we can step our left foot in front of us, send it into half splits. Or continue to inch those front toes forward a little bit closer to the full splits. And then let the breath flow. As you back this leg underneath you, we come to a seated position. And we wrap up our time before Shavasana with alternate nostril breathing. This clears the Ida and Pingala channels, the left and the right channels. They represent the sun and the moon, helping us to balance yin and yang, to balance masculine and feminine, the light and the dark within us, helping us realize that including all of it brings us toward that central column of oneness. These are the simple, profound lessons that we learn with our simple breath. So I rest my left hand on the left knee. I use my right hand to alternate between blocking off the right nostril with the thumb and then blocking off the other nostril. Pick a finger. It could be middle finger, ring finger, whatever finger naturally goes to it. And so we'll alternate between thumb blocking off the right nostril, middle finger or ring finger blocking off the left nostril. We start off just with a normal breath cycle. Full inhale, exhale. Block off the right nostril, inhale left. Block off left nostril, exhale right. Stay on the right to inhale. We switch before the exhale here. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. We're going to be going for about another minute, so continue this pace. We switch every time we're about to exhale. Complete one more full cycle until you exhale on the left. And as we drop the right hand down, we feel our spine simply floating here. Eyes closed. The energy of the body is so full. It's like we just filled up all the energetic reservoirs. If you'd like to remain seated today for your Shavasana, that's fine. Otherwise, start to make your way down into a laying Shavasana. And feel this breath slowly flowing through the body, perhaps taking on the Ujjayi breath, the light constriction of the throat, that sound that we make right before we're about to fall asleep. Begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Rolling over to a nice fetal position on one side. Let a full deep breath flow all the way through the body. And out. Rising up, the hands join together in front of the heart. This vitality, this health, this liveliness that we have within the cells of our body. That's how we feel when we've invited so much prana to be a part of us. And so with this health, calmness, and vitality to lead us on, let's wrap up this wonderful time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Taking a deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.